Seattle Mariners just played a really uninspiring series versus the Boston Red Sox. John and I are going to talk about game one and what went wrong in that game that really set the tone for the rest of this series, as well as if they had a chance in game two. We're then going to talk about the All-Star game. Cal's going to be there, but who else might be there? And will the Mariners be cool with sending Cal Raleigh to do the home run derby? I'm going to give you guys my Operation Overreaction, and then we're going to talk about the Chicago Cubs series coming up starting on Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 201 of the Hit It Here podcast, part of the Bleav network available on all your favorite podcasting platforms. This is the Rowdy Tellez episode because he stole his first base with the Mariners. 201, his first base with the Mariners. Shout out Rowdy, fat guy speed. Big fan. Friendly reminder, we do have a charity stream coming up on Saturday for the Lambert House. Be sure to be there from 1 to 4 if you can, and donate if you can. And I am here with Joe. And Joe, we're going to keep this podcast a little bit shorter, just full disclosure, because we've tried recording this about 4 times now, and it keeps either corrupting or I don't know. So we're gonna try to keep this one a little bit shorter, Joe.
Take a deep breath. Let's take it all in. Just like we took in the Boston Red Sox series, kid. So, game one, not fun. Not a good time. Logan Gilbert struck out 10 over 5. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Swing and miss was working, was dialed. What wasn't dialed, I'm like segueing to myself. I'm literally throwing up lobs to myself right now. That's crazy. I'm in my bag right now. The Mariners offense had plenty of opportunities. Struck out 10 times specifically against Lucas Giolito. 15 times total in this game. The third inning is the one we're going to point to, where the bottom of the order of Dom Canzone, Ben Williamson, and Cole Young all get back-to-back-to-back singles. Turning it over to the top of the lineup with the bases loaded, juiced, with no outs. And promptly, J.P. Crawford, Julio Rodriguez, and Cal Raleigh strike out to end the inning with no runs pushed across. Logan Gilbert only gave up 2 runs in this game, but the Mariners scored 0. Despite his best efforts, this game 1 loss, unfortunately, is just like a... You look back to what happened in the Guardian series. You sweep them at home. Feels like you could take some momentum, and I'm not going to use the word extrapolate again in this situation because I used it in the previous recording, and I'm not here to flex my vocabulary on you guys.
Liar.
Breaking the fourth wall is fun, dude. We should do this more often.
Well,
we pretend that it corrupts and then just make inside jokes that didn't actually happen.
Well, then we'll both be confused.
We're losing confusion.
Yeah.
We're losing the viewers now. What was I saying?
We lost viewers years ago. Anyway,
we're washed.
Game 1.
It sucked, dude.
Game 1 sucked. All right. The Mariners lost that game 2-0. They had a fantastic opportunity in that one, and they didn't come through. They had another opportunity versus Gabe Weissert later in the game. First 2 guys walked, and then after that, Julio, Cal, and Polo or Randy. I don't remember who was up next after that. They blew it again. Just a scenario where the Mariners offense didn't come through. They saved it all for game 2. You know, the Mariners outscored the Red Sox in this series. It's because they scored 8 in game 2. Basically, it was the Red Sox versus the Cal Raleighs in this game. Cal with a big grand slam, home run number 27 on the year to regain the lead for home runs in the major leagues. We then saw him hit a double that scored 2 runs or a single.
I think so.
He was a triple try of the cycle. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
He scored 6, or he had 6 RBI in this game, and Brian Wu was fantastic.
Yeah, that battery was the driving force for the Mariners' victory in Game 2. 7 innings of one-hit ball for Brian Wu. Another 6-inning start out of him. We know what he likes to do. He likes to go out there every 5th game and throw 6 innings, no matter what, because that's just what he do. You liked the fact that, this was a game where I said, 11 billion to nothing. 8 runs feeling like 11 billion in my heart. Really just... the fireworks in my brain are just like really, really happy after this game. But yeah, exactly. There's not a lot going on up there. And it felt like you had to win this game specifically because you lost the first one. But with the series finale on Wednesday against Garrett Crochet, that is an uphill battle every single time. And it proved to be that way. Unlike the first time you saw Crochet this year where you beat him. This time, Crochet gets the better of the Mariners. 3-1 victory to the Red Sox. Luis Castillo, the home run ball, bites him again. Marcelo Meyer, Trevor Story. Those are the runs that the Red Sox scored. It was 3 runs and 3 hits. Mariners had 1 run on 6 hits. The 1 run on a wild pitch.
Yep.
Like, the offense was non-existent for 2 games out of 3. You're never going to win that series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't feel good about having to face Garrett Crochet in a rubber match at any point, but especially with how anemic this Mariners offense has been. And you've mentioned kind of the Jekyll and Hyde effect from this team, where you never know which team you're going to get day in and day out. Are you going to get the Mariners offense that goes out there and, puts up 8 runs? Or are you going to get the anemic offense you had in the other 2 games? You just never know. Game 3 didn't really upset me too much. I mean,
Yeah.
Garrett Crochet was good. He's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. It is what it is. Luis Castillo was fine. Quality start out of him. And I think that's actually been a pretty common theme for this Mariners team recently. The pitching is getting back on track, which is the foundation of this team. The Mariners are built on pitching, both in the bullpen and in the starting rotation. And now that Logan's healthy, now that George is healthy, Brian Woo's been great. Well, obviously, Emerson Hancock has given you a lot more than you could have expected. All of these guys are starting to click. And now we just need the offense to kind of start clicking a little bit as well. And the Mariners I wouldn't be shocked if they rattled off like a 7-8 game win streak at some point down the stretch here. Maybe not before the All-Star game because they got some tough series coming up. But nonetheless, I think that could happen and catapult them right back into the conversation of being in first place in this division. Maybe I'm just sipping the copium here. But, Joe, like I mentioned, the All-Star game is coming up. We do know Cal Raleigh is going to be there. He's going to be your starting catcher. He better be. It's a chance, Joe, that Cal could also be in the home run derby.
What am I more excited for? Cal starting the game at catcher or being in the home run derby? I might pick starting behind the dish. I mean, he's the second leading vote getter in the American League behind Aaron Judge right now. Very well deserved, mind you. It's insane how much national recognition that he's getting and just like overall how much love he's getting. But it is well deserved. I mean, dude, it has been so valuable to this team. Like when he goes, the Mariners go, and that's a saying that we usually reserve for Julio. It has not been the case this year. It is for Cal Raleigh. The home run derby is a lot of fun though. There's always, whenever there's a Mariners representative, it is a fun time. Julio puts on a great show. I know Robinson Cano didn't necessarily put on a great show, but
I will say he did hit the home run to tie the game though in the All-Star game that year.
Sure. So there's some silver lining there, but yeah, I mean Cal's gonna get the big dumper treatment, down there in Atlanta because he deserved, like he has earned all the flowers that he's been receiving.
He's gonna have that big old Georgia peach on his ass.
Yeah.
So on top of that, Joe, there are some other guys that we think will make this All-Star team. Unfortunately, Logan isn't gonna make it more than likely simply because he just missed too much time. But there are a few other guys that I think have a chance. Julio is not that far away from being in the running there for the outfielders. I think, what'd you say, he's like 5th or 6th?
I think he's 2 or 3 spots out of where he would get in. So I think there's 5 or 6 outfielders already selected by just top whatever vote percentage. I think he was 2 or 3 away from that. So injuries, players not participating, he'll be a replacement, I would assume, if he does not make it from the fan voting. But he could also heat up and maybe he earns his way through the fan vote. Randy Arozarena is 4 or 5 spots behind him as well. I don't think that he would make it. But similarly, any guy can catch fire and maybe get a lightning card in MLB The Show. And then that could pave their path to the All-Star game in Atlanta. The one player for the position players, because they don't do fan voting for the pitchers. That's a whole different bag of worms. But JP Crawford is having a very, very good year, an underrated year, an under-recognized year, because he is 7th or 8th in AL shortstop voting, when he's definitely been a top 3 shortstop in the American League. It's just he doesn't have the name power, and there's more exciting players at the position that are going to get the votes, like Bobby Witt Jr., like Jacob Wilson. You mentioned in a thing that doesn't exist, Jeremy Pena.
He's doing steroids. All right, look at his neck. He's doing steroids. All right.
There's some sort of conspiracy theory going on there that Colton, you know what? More dislike video, Jeremy Pena on steroids. There's a new video for
I'll
you.
do it for MLB Mojo, # dead channel.
Hashtag.
Yeah, that's going to actually be my Operation Overreaction, is we, as a community, as the Mojovians, are going to vote John Peach Crawford to the All-Star game. # JPeachASG or something like that. We're going to make it happen. I'm wearing the cap shirt. All right. JP Crawford is more than deserving. I think that he probably should have made it back in 2023. He was snubbed in that season. I don't want him to get snubbed again because he is having a season of all time.
Certainly a season of all time. Yes, indeed. I mean, if there's ever a person that I think could start this kind of hashtag JPeach for ASG wave, it's the guy that helped send Segura.
That's right. I'll send Joe the photo. He's gonna post it.
No,
right
I'm not.
here. He's gonna put it in this video
Why
of
would
me in the group for the send Segura. I was the number 2 vote sender inner. Or maybe I was number 3. I don't remember now.
Okay.
But I just know the number 1 vote sender inner, Brittany Bush Bleav, got to throw out the first pitch for that before that game. And fun fact, that game was July 24th.
Your birthday.
It was on my birthday, and we got to all go down on the field, all like the top 20 vote senders. And you know what? I'll be darned if I don't do something like that again, but I'm starting it my own way, all right? We, as Mariner Mojo, are going to help send John Peach Crawford to the All-Star game. But Joe, there's some pitchers, I think, that have a chance to make this team as well.
Yeah, Brian Wu, he's going to, if there's a pitcher that is not named Andres Munoz, it is Brian Wu. Munoz, who started the year off no earned runs until what was it, like the end of May?
Yeah, I Bleav it was May 27th at around like 10:03 p.m.
Could have been anywhere. Someone could have been in attendance. Could have been anywhere.
I might have been 100 feet away from it.
He's been electric. He's been so good. He will be in the All-Star game as well. Back-to-back appearances for Andres Munoz. If there's another pitcher that would go for the Mariners, it is Brian Wu. Has been healthy. Goes out there and throws 6 innings every single time he does get the chance to pitch. You mentioned Gilbert, not enough time. Same thing with Kirby. Like, one, he hasn't been, except whatever. Hancock's not going to get that love, but Wu, again, recency bias, 7 innings his last time out. He will make the All-Star game. Maybe I don't want him in there. Because, unless, he could not pitch. But if he does pitch, his stretch of 6 innings in a row would be done. Like, I don't know if I'm willing to risk that. I'm kidding, by the way. That this is all for banter. I think he could be a guy, if he doesn't get selected initially, there will be pitchers who pitch on the final game before the All-Star break that will not be in it, and then they need to be replaced. I could see Wu being there if he doesn't make it in the initial wave.
Yeah, a lot of times pitchers are the guys that'll fall off of the All-Star team simply because, like you just mentioned, they'll pitch the day or two before the All-Star break, and at that point, it's not enough time for them to have their normal rest before they go out there and pitch in the All-Star game. I'd really like to see Andres Munoz actually get to pitch this year, because he didn't get to pitch last time, although last year when he went, it was the Rangers coaching staff, and this year it'll be the Astros coaching staff.
So we're getting the short stick no matter what.
It won't be the Astros coaching staff. I'm lying to you. Who won the World Series last year?
The Dodgers? It'll be the Yankees coaching staff.
Yeah. What am I saying? What year is it?
I think you're just assuming the worst, but
yeah.
Like always.
Jeremy Pena is doing steroids.
Okay.
All right, look at this guy's neck. We are going to go play the best team in the National League and the second best team in all of baseball.
What? The Cubs? In Chicago?
Wrigley.
Man.
It's happening. All right, game 1. You're going to have George Kirby on the mound against Cubs top prospect Cade Horton. Horton has a 3.47 ERA on the season. What?
You're funny.
What?
You're this guy. You're funny, Chaka.
Why?
This guy's hilarious. Keep talking.
Anyway, he has a 3.47 ERA on the season.
What did he do his last time out against Pittsburgh?
He pitched well. I don't listen when you talk.
You literally just said the 3 things I said about Cade Horton.
In my defense, I knew it was a 3.47 because I looked up his stats earlier today. Okay.
Right.
Suck it. Go watch the stream. I know you don't watch the streams because you're too good, but go watch the stream. I say it during the stream. Suck my ass. All right. Mariners, I mean, they're going to have the left-handed lineup in there, which, by the way, I don't think it will, but could include Luke Raley. he's been rehabbing down in AAA Tacoma,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been hitting pretty well. And I think that he will be back at some point during this road trip. He was playing for Tacoma tonight, so I don't think he's going to make the trip. But at the same time, it is an off day tomorrow, so it's possible.
Yeah.
I think that he comes back no later than the start of the Rangers series at the end of this road trip. But I could see him coming back even for the Twins series.
I would love just to have him be injected into the lineup. Especially in a series where you probably need all hands on deck with the Cubs, because this is definitely not a series that you can take off in any sort of way. You need to be as locked in as possible, play up to your opponent as much as you can. The Cubs have been great from start of the beginning of the season to now. Like, they are incredible. Start of the beginning. That was an insane sentence I just said. Everyone on that team is just playing well. Like, everything is gelling for them. And I think it's a product of their surroundings. Like, obviously Kyle Tucker. Seiya Suzuki's having an amazing year. Ian Happ at the top of the lineup, setting the table. You have Pete Crow Armstrong having an unbelievable season, showing off all 5 tools at any given moment. Michael Busch is having a great season. Like, they're top to bottom, that lineup is really deep, and it's going to be a tough ask for, like you mentioned, though, a Mariners pitching staff that has been pitching better, and they are healthier. George Kirby, first 2 starts pretty rocky. You go when you want, little buddy. Start against the Angels was awesome. Last time out, didn't have his command, only went 5. You need him to at least, I think, go 6 to have a chance in this game. Cade Horton, rookie, yes, top prospect. Maybe there's something there where you just jump on him early. He's had moments in his minor league career where he was striking out guys at like a 10 plus Ks per 9. Right now it's in the 7s, so he's not striking out guys a ton. I'm sure now he'll strike out 14. But I think with game 1, it's not an awful matchup. Like, the pitching matchup, there's not like a huge disadvantage necessarily. Like, I feel good about Kirby versus Horton. It's just the Cubs offense, which is top 3 in all of baseball, has been a lot more consistent, whereas the Mariners, yes, they're 6 in all of baseball currently, but we know that is largely inflated by their month of April. I don't know. Like, it's hard to say because, like, I don't know what to expect out of this team. You sweep the Guardians, and then you go 1-2 against the Red Sox. But then you got road warrior Emerson Hancock on the mound in game 2. That's an easy dub. Unless, of course, it's against Matthew Boyd. Shout out Matt Boyd. Having a great year for the Chicago Cubs. Another situation where, like, it feels like everything's gelling. Like, yes, he was great with the Guardians. Like, he's been great in spurts. This is the best he's looked, I think, over a consistent period of time. And you are rolling out the right-handed lineup. So Donovan Solano, Dylan Moore, Mitch Garver. Not looking... I mean, it doesn't seem like a winning outcome in game 2. So winning game 1 is really important, because game 2, I would, it's like an 80% chance that you're losing that game.
Yeah, Matthew Boyd has been really, really good, and that's carrying over what he did last year with the Cleveland Guardians. Obviously, we know Boyd quite well. He was with the team when they broke the drought, so kind of a good guy. He's from Seattle as well, so that's very cool. Yeah, it is imperative that you win game 1, because game 2 doesn't feel too good. But looking at game 3, you are going to have Logan Gilbert back on the mound in this game versus Colin Ray. Ray's having a relatively decent season, obviously coming over from the Brewers from last season. I don't know what to expect out of Logan. I hope that he has his command a little bit more dialed with his breaking pitches. But if he can strike out 10 again, I'll feel pretty good about that. Like you mentioned, the Cubs do have the 3rd best offense in all of baseball. I will say the Mariners have the 15th best ERA in all of baseball, and the Cubs have the 9th.
Yeah.
So
a 3.87 for the Mariners, a 3.57, I believe, for the Cubs. So they're not far off, but there is definitely an advantage to the Cubs in most facets of this series. You do have the steepest pitching advantage in that 3rd game with Gilbert on the mound versus Colin Ray. I don't know how well, like, are the Cubs striking out a lot this year? I feel like good baseball teams don't. So I feel like that's just 20.5%. So, like, I don't know.
below league average.
Below league average, but that's never going to load. I don't know why I
They're loaded.
Yeah, so they're
22nd.
Yes, but that's good. So
that's good.
They're 8th,
Eighth.
I think. Yeah. Logan's going to have his best stuff. His command's going to have to be there. The velo's going to have to be back up. But like you said, maybe it was just knocking off the rust a little bit in that first game back against the Red Sox. But starting off the road trip against the Cubs is going to be a tall order.
Yeah, the Mariners have a pretty rough go of it heading up to the All-Star break. They have to play the second best team in baseball in the Cubs. And then right before the All-Star break, they have to play the best team in baseball in the Tigers. That's why it was kind of, it felt important for them to play really well last month when they were playing some of those bad teams, because you have some rough series coming up. And unfortunately, they didn't do that. Now they have to play their best baseball the rest of the way to keep themselves in the conversation. It's kind of scary. It really is. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens with this Cubs series. That's going to do it from us here on episode 201 of the Hit It Here podcast. Don't forget to hashtag vote JPeach. And Jerry Pena's doing steroids. Go Mariners.
Woo!